Man, this took far too long to make. And I have to admit, it's looking pretty good. Except, like, this is too low res for me. This I don't like this. I don't get this. But this took me far too long to make like 3 days. But anyway, and welcome back to another There's Other Works. And Shwan, and oh man, this take me too long to make, and I would say too many programs, too many bits of software to make. But and it's not even done yet. We're going to be finishing it in this video, and there might be a version 3 eventually. There might be an actual version 2 eventually, with a higher res Puerto Rico. Yes, that's Puerto Rico. Did you guess? But anyway, like the pixel art is perfect. I would not touch the pixel art, but the 3D render, the render's fine. The render's fine. I don't get what happened to the water. It's pretty, but it's not intentional. And the render could look better. But and I could work on Puerto Rico a bit more in 3D Builder. But yeah. So in this video, we're going to be adding some more programs into the description for this series. Like, well, actually, I'm pretty sure it's just 3D Builder, which is by far the easiest 3D modeling program to use. It's not powerful. It's just you're just meant to make simple things for 3D printing. But man, does it like to knock out low poly stuff easily. But yeah. Well, I say easily. Not quickly. Yeah, I say easily because it's not quick. It's faster than Blender, but Blender is just a mess when it comes to controls. Like, you need to memorize the entire shortcut in order to be successful with Blender. Shortkeys nonsense, which shakes up an entire keyboard with, I think, also modes on the keyboard. With Alt and holding down R to get different modes. Blender is really bad with its shortcuts and just basic controls. 3D Builder's great, but anyway, I made a video ranting about it and deleted it because that wasn't me. That wasn't very good of me. But anyway, so today, remember, ignore this. Remember a few videos ago, we made the first non-RPG maker game, which still doesn't have an actual title, and I wanted to make a concept of it, I want to make a concept image of it, which is what we're finalizing today. But we're going to be doing the third half of what I need to do. Yes, there are 3 halves. And of the concept art, seeing if the art style works at least. And that is, the first bit was making the 2D assets, which your 2D assets, I can't zoom in, which is stupid. I can't zoom in, also gets blurry, which is stupid. I didn't figure out another format to use in Blender other than PNG. But that's another time. You can just easily swap that out because this has layering. You can swap it out because it's layering. But yeah. So basically, I gotta keep that full zoom out so it looks terrible. I don't know why Blender renders things terribly. And this is actually using LuxCore, which is a rendering pipeline, or rendering engine, or whatever it is. A third-party rendering engine completely free to use. And it's amazing. It actually uses ray tracing, like RTX. It's okay. From gaming, you think of ray tracing as real-time ray tracing, and that is something that is unheard of in the entirety of CGI, basically, because it never has to be real-time. Because it's a really deep subject, and I'm not very qualified to talk about it yet. But pretty much video games have always used either baked-in lighting, which is your PS1, and before era, which is your N64 and, Dreamcast, PS1, and N64 era, and before, is your baked lighting, where you have to literally add the lighting to the texture, and you have a simple, uniform lighting for the rest of the level. Then you got the other one. Then you got the middle one, which is what most people use. Every single game that doesn't use that. Every single game after that, like PS2 and beyond, PS2 original Xbox, even GameCube and beyond, uses another type of rendering. Uses baked rendering, which is different, where you use a computer program to render the lighting almost in real time, but not really. And then there is real-time ray tracing, or path tracing. Then there's also path tracing, which is the real stuff. That's actually what ray tracing, real-time ray tracing that you think of when you think of the RTX cards. What their name is, what you actually think of, like what's just now coming to gaming. In the 2020s, is what that is. So Xbox One, not even Xbox One, Xbox Series, PS5, or Nintendo, and that's it. So yeah, I don't think phones have it. Yeah, probably not. I don't know of any phone games that use actual ray tracing, probably because there's no actual chips that use phone tracing that's mobile. Only graphics cards use ray tracing, and I don't know many laptops that do it either. Be honest, I don't know if any have the new 30 series cards, or the indie ones, which aren't nearly as good with ray tracing. But anyway. So yeah, I don't know what happened with this. It took me far too long to figure out how to use Zuxcore. But once I figured it out, it looks like this. And when the water looks funky, because what it should look like is a plane of glass which you can't see the edges of. What it's looking like in this is I don't even know. It looks all I like it. It's pretty. It's pretty and it looks like waves and whatnot, but it's not what I intended. Which when you figure out about art, it's what you intend it to look like. And unintentional things is also art, and limitations are art. But yeah, I don't know why it looks like that, and I need to figure that out. But anyway, I like Luxcore. Since it uses actual ray tracing, which is what I intended. It's in minisodes, I'm pretty sure. One chance to look like this is using cycles, and uses not path tracing, but it uses the baked lighting. I'm pretty sure that's what you call it. And it looks great, but it's not to this level. Which I believe those black spots running down here are the shadows of the three planes, or the four planes, making up the glowing scourges. And you see that, and you see them down there. You shouldn't, I don't think, as the sun is like over here somewhere and very high up. It's like twice as high as these planes. Which is the nice thing about Blender, you can actually render things in around the same space as what you would be in actual. Like, you don't have to scale things down that much. I mean, yes, this is a low poly. Yeah, it helps that my Puerto Rico is really low poly, and this is how I would envision, without actually, setting up, without actually taking a photo from, you can't take a photo from space. You have to take a photo from a spacecraft going to space, or you need a weather balloon taking a photo of Puerto Rico, which I don't think exists. So this is what I envision Puerto Rico would look like from the perspective of your eyeballs, of your third person or fourth person view being above the being above the hypersonic fighters, moving across Puerto Rico in basically seconds, milliseconds maybe. I'm not quite sure. I didn't actually do the math on that, but yeah. And over here, I made this, and and all the pixel art's done, and that you can see what I use on the bottom, well, in the description as well as my toolbar. I mean, Aces Sprite. This is a fun trick. Basically, the only things made in Aces Sprite are the sensor box and the sprite. I mean, and the effect boom. But effect. Whoa! Don't do that. I need my hand. Give me my hand back. Thank you. See, that's outside, and this is and these are just color block boxes from Affinity Designer. And also, I want to make a 3D. Also, I want to make a. That's not perfectly centered. But anyway, that's fine. Also, I want to make a journey with this, because why not? Except, I'm either going to make it right away because I feel like it, or I'm going to make it way later because I feel like it. I'm not quite sure. But anyway. So, yeah, one thing I want to talk about before we actually start, I guess we can start. Well, one thing you can freaking do is figure out where, I like that being up there, but do these look good like that? I'm trying to figure out what looks good and what's usable. Well, the thing is, you don't need the bottom space other than finding people coming after you. Like, your camera's locked on to the, to your plane. It could be various models in the universe. Probably could even be non-hypersonic, if you want. Maybe it could even be a drone. And you need to be mainly looking at things in front of you and directly behind you. The corners could be more safe for these, but it's hard to see them in action. Alright. You know, let's put these in the corners. Remember, they're on different layers, so we're fine. We're fine, I swear. But now you're looking down on them, which is harder. I mean, Battlefield doesn't think it's harder to say. I prefer things. I prefer things how you read them. I prefer things I would read them, particularly in English. Let's just say, because, well, I speak English. I'm pretty sure, and I hope I do. But I speak English, and I make things for an English audience, most definitely. So I don't need to make it in however you read Japanese, Chinese, or Mandarin, whatever you want to call it. Today, Japanese, Chinese, traditional, or simplified. I think Mandarin's simplified Chinese. Why now? Why not? Yeah. But yeah. I like this better because you can actually see things. I'm not quite sure how to do it because you're moving insanely fast. This game is based... Whoops, I forgot I had to chat my sister up. So I have to get rid of that. This game is based on... Don't even have it installed. I'm pretty sure I just have it on my hard drive permanently now because it doesn't require a CD key. Or the CD. It should be obvious. It should look like this, but not. Okay, well, let's cheat. Time to cheat, we're cheating today. But yeah, and like Project Game done, the Gemstone Chronicles, or the Gemstone Coast Chronicles, I'm not quite sure what this game could be. And I would likely make it by myself, so I don't even know how I could do that. I would either make it by myself or with Green&Blue with moderately more people. Like having an actual coder would be nice. That's the one thing I need because I don't code. I can make code. Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. But the game is Pearl Harbor Zero Hour, and it's actually rather unique. I mean, it's also, I guess it's also like, that one 2.5D arena flight game. But it's more unique than that, because those are in a flight game. Pearl Harbor is a single player mission game. And the other one's not single player. This. All of this. Whereas in Pearl Harbor Zero Hour, you take off from a base, either a carrier or an air base, you fly around in an open sandbox set level, and you go complete a mission. As opposed to frickin', I don't keep forgetting the name of it, but it's a more modern version of it. Probably link in the description. It and Pearl Harbor Zero Hour, if I remember. But it's more modern. Okay, let's look at Steam. It's not gonna be up there. Is it gonna be an A at all? Actually, let me look over here. Zoom back up. We can look over here. Thing is, I don't know the spelling of it. I don't know its title like at all right now. I'm playing like Blind King. Well, I mean, it has to be in here, I think. That would help. But I'll have to go look for it. I have to actually remember it. It's a really good game. And I didn't look it up on my channel either. And yeah, it's not here. I'll have to go look. Let me get you out of here. I'll have to go look. But anyway. So I like this better because you're not going to be really using the bottom left and bottom right. Maybe I could program the bots to only attack from directly behind you. But then you can have this. You have this, and I can have like a little pointing arrow for them directly being in front of you. Like in the center of the screen, there could be arrow. In the center of the screen around your guy, there could be arrows pointing to targets. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Actually, I think it's done. I don't know. Like, should we have a solid box? No, because we don't have that real estate. Because this is 1080p. This right here is 1080p, so we don't have that kind of real estate. For a solid box. What we can do is let's get text out. Because I don't like top left from I don't like top left from being by something you can read. You be staring at maybe. Let's do this. Yes. Okay, not that big game. Not that big me. Just being black, let's get rid of Arial, because Arial sucks. I like Arial, but it's not professional. Use quotation marks. And then I use an open source version of what people consider professional. Change it to green. No, that gets lost, and yeah, let's just have black, so you can actually see it. I mean, I'll probably have a box. I'll probably have one of these display boxes, but yeah, no, guys, I need to annihilate the green lines in these. I just have one of these display boxes for this, but that will take up a lot of room on the screen. Speed mock, because when you use mock, you don't use anything else. So like, you go from like 0 miles per hour, definitely miles, or 0 knots to 1,000 knots, then to Mach, and stay at Mach. But yeah. Because he has his blue afterburner, has his blue exhaust, that means he is in Mach, that means he's in Super Cruise. So, Mach 5. 5.0 speed. Height. I mean, this is just a mock-up. I mainly just wanted to see how the 2D and 3D will look together, and they look fantastic, if I might add. They look fantastic, if I might add. But, yeah, I gotta say, I gotta work on Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's looking pretty sad, but it was my first thing I really made in 3D modeler, and it works well. It's just that when you're having to always track things, you can't actually miss things. It's really hard. Although you can, it's in advanced mode, but you know it's not really meant for it. It's meant to make really simple things very fast, or very easily. And also, it needs to stay. The text needs to stay small, so we can't use altitude, and we can't, the trick of, whatever that is. Height? No, let's do height. There we go. Height, let's go high. They're intended to be at the stratosphere. On the top of the thick air. For these engines are thick air. And breathable air, I should say. For engines. Do we put period? I don't think we put period. Speed height. There's speed high. And then we want health to be on the bottom so you can easily tell it from the rest. Now, you can't see because I don't have it up, but Pearl Harbor uses a more fanciful menu because it was from like the late 90s, not early 2000s. So it has a more fanciful menu that is more playful and uses kind of real-world inspiration. Whereas we're in the 2020s, and this game would be probably made in around 2024 maybe, 2025. If not, I'd do it sooner. I doubt it. I doubt it hard. I need a team for this. I cannot do this by myself. But it's good to dream. At least make concepts and combining my passions together and refining my combined art style together. Plus, we can always use what we learned here to make art for RPG Maker, which is what my actual games are only developed in for the moment anyway. Height, speed, height. Do you really? Yeah, because you really need your speed, because height will be height would be something you would intentionally change. Like, this is not going to be a free, like Pearl Harbor Zero, or this is not going to be a free 3D space thing. You're going to be in the 2D plane, then you drop another plane, then you drop another plane, then you drop another plane, or you raise a plane, you raise a plane, you raise a plane. So you go from high to high mid to high low. Then you go mid-high, mid-low, mid-medium, or, well, high, mid, high-low, mid-high, mid-low, low-high, low-mid, low-low, and then third to be ground. Third to be canvas. So, yeah. And then above high will be space, so you might have something different for that. I don't think so, but it's going to be primarily based on the aircraft, this game, not the spacecraft. Maybe there will be a DLC for spacecraft, but probably not. or standalone expansion is. I'm a respectable old-class gamer with expansion packs, not DLC. Not your petty DLC of these modern gamers and these modern games. But anyway, or even your microtransactions, we love it then. But yeah, I'm kidding, of course, but yeah, no, I prefer expansion packs. Something that mass adds the game as opposed to something that only minimizes the game, especially with how we price things around here, which is low margins. Low margins of what we can get away with, and still being able to survive, basically. But anyway. And what pen? Or guns. And that's the only one with and you know what, let's have a cooldown. We can spell that. How about ammo? And ammo just repel it, and then you fire your gun for a set time, then it stops, and then you get it back. So we're using high, mid, and low. So let's use full, mid, low, 0. Actually, we can use %. And then the ammo changes with the weapon you select. Well, that's not 9% shooting one down. It's gonna be 90 because it uses the precise burst. Because this is Golden Era there, which you won't be playing as. You probably play as him for beginning mission and as an unlockable character, but just for fun. But you wouldn't play as him for yourself. You be your own self because you're playing. If you make a customization thing, all you gotta do is just allow you to, open up a pixel editor on for your playing. But anyway, and then health. %. Gotta keep things consistent, so that's readable. There could be text opposite of this over here, but maybe not. Oh, we haven't seen it. We haven't tried it yet. No, come to me. Does that look good to you? Because it's closed off, but then again, you might go along. You won't. You shouldn't. Real cannon might take up the entire thing, though. So yeah, let's go over here so your weapons can be silly long. But anyway. I like it. That's all we need. That's all we need. I like it. That's all we need. Okay. We're doing the saving and the exporting. I gotta do something about that looking so low res. In the bad way. Now, I like the island looking low res in the good way, and the pixel art looking good, low res in the good way. But I do not like. Yes, I don't like the. I don't like you can't zoom into it. It really should be nice and crisp, but it is an HD. I don't know what Blender thinks is PNG or HG, but it's wrong. It's really wrong. But anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna upload this to Deviant Art, but I just want to make a video on it. I know that the first one was a bit randomly, but yeah. I like it. And now let's see it in full resolution. Yes, won't save that. And the Blender, I don't know. I need to really work on this. Make it more, when I organize my fanfiction folder, where I keep everything. It used to be just the Ruby fanfiction, but I expanded to everything. I also need a name for this game, so I got any ideas, I go with my old name convention of There's Story, something, 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 something. There's Story, There's Island, something like that. Like There's Island, like There's Island Adventures, maybe? That's actually not bad. But something that can be, it needs a name, but something that can stand out to someone who just hears about it, and they're like, what is There's Island? Well, what their story needs to be first. There's Island, then subtitle. But the subtitle needs to be fun, of interest. It needs to be something that would stand out to somebody and still be catchy. It needs to be catchy. It needs to be stand out to someone that doesn't know what their story is, because chances are they don't. But yeah. Behold! By the way. Use your full screen. Use your full screen. Feel the wind. Ah, it's not bad. I don't still see you. I don't know why. Aha, there we go. That's what I want. There you are. Oh, it's a bit. There you go. Better perfection. For a mock-up that took me, not counting, for a mock-up that took me, not counting you, because I built you a long time ago, but even though it took me to build the warm-up to figure out the resolution and everything, I want to say 3 hours to build a warm-up for the first time. Took me much less to build the MIGs, because they're so much more simple, and I already had that to get that ready to go, and I already had effectively the template ready to go, which is 100p by 100p, 100 pixels by 100 pixels is my resolution, and I knew what the plane needed to look like, what direction it should be facing, and everything. I only knew that. By the way, these are separate sprites. These 100 by 100 sprites. They're separate to the thing that I play separately. As you can see, it's a little not there, but that's Blender for you. My experience with Blender anyway is just pain. Pain. I hate Blender. I really do not like Blender. Mainly because its controls, its basic controls are so bad. If you're using strictly the mouse, well, you can't use strictly the mouse. You need to hit shift every now and then. But if you were to use strictly the mouse and just shift, it's just pure pain. You need to learn your shortcuts with Blender. So you can't learn shortcuts. Good luck, because I'm not having any luck with Blender. I like how you can animate things and render a Blender. I just don't like the rest of Blender. I would rather just use 3D Builder to make objects, and then just make it and put them in Blender. But even then, that's really hard and tedious to do in Blender, which I just don't like. But anyway. Like, just setting this stuff up took me like 5 hours. Setting up all this in Blender, the camera, the single camera, the source of light, the sun, which you see there, the two planes for the water and the thing below the water, and the seabed, the island. It wasn't made in Blender, but to put it in Blender, okay, that didn't take me too long. And it took me 3 days to figure out how to render with LuxCore, but that's LuxCore's fault, not Blender's fault. And hint is, use Halt. It doesn't halt for you automatically. You have to halt. You have to use Halt command, which Blender doesn't have a Halt button. I don't know why Blender doesn't have a Halt button, but it doesn't. And there's probably a good reason for it, but I don't think so. But yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so let's see. How many programs did I use? Okay, I used, to make this image, okay. First off, I made the original concept with my brain, and I put it onto Word. Then I used Ace of Sprite to make the 2D stuff. I used 3D Builder to build Puerto Rico. I used Blender, and I used Affinity Designer. And I'm using just standard Windows photo thing. What's it? Photo reader thing. And I'm pretty sure that's it. I didn't need to watch a tutorial this time, even to get caught up with Blender again, because I haven't used Blender in a few months. Which I gotta say, I found this guy, Royalty Skies is his name. Yeah, Royal Skies on the YouTubes as people call it nowadays. But on YouTube, and I like him a lot. He has a nice personality, mainly, and he's a really good teacher with all of everything that's to do with 3D modeling. Blender Guru's alright, it's just that he has the bias of, if you're not competing with dice, if you're not going above and beyond to make, let's face it, generic things you can take pictures of, objects better than dice, then you're doing something wrong. Or at least that's how it comes off to me, is you must make things better than dice, and you must make them perfect to real life. If you're not, you're messing up. You can't have it. He does talk about. I think I saw one of his videos where he talks about art style, and I don't understand where he comes from with art style, considering he doesn't have one. He's very generic. And which to me, an art style is, well, this. You see an art style before you, but you can also make very generic art, which can be a good or a bad thing. But Blender makes very, very generic art. None of it looks like it's made by Blender Guru. It looks like just genericism. And I have a thing with chasing. Realism is, don't ever chase it. You either make something that's realistic, or to your skill level, or to your skill level funding, to your skill level and resources, or you don't. You don't chase it. Chasing, that's very bad. I see it go very wrong. Every time I see someone chase realism, it's gone very wrong. Pixar chased realism in Original Terror Story. All the things that are not toys suck. Minigames on PlayStation 1 chased realism. They all look horribly dated. Call of Duty 4, the back of the box, it says most realistic game ever. Sure, for like a year. And yeah, just chasing realism doesn't work. I mean, like, 2D artists, traditional artists, grew out of chasing realism a couple of centuries ago. I don't know why 3D artists thinks it's all the rage. They'll grow out of it one day, I'm sure, just like the 2D artists. I mean, to be fair, traditional art in the modern day is, yeah, it's gone downhill, but at least it doesn't all try to paint the same image just with different people instead of just taking a picture of it. But anyway. But to be fair, I'm also a photographer, so I do that. But, I do take pictures of the same environments. I do question myself sometimes, but the lighting is different. The lighting's different, or there's something there that's different, like a different creature. Like, if you look at my Deviant it's a lot of, I return to a lot of things because I only can go so many places. So I return to so many of these areas, and it's just the lighting's different. Different time of day, or different time of day, different time of year, or the clouds look different. Or the place is a bit different because time has passed. Or something, but, or the puddles look different this time, so they're cool. The orange tree is almighty and just needs to be in every shot. Not really, that's not how I do things. Or, if real actually, technically, it's the Mustang that needs to be in every shot. But anyway. So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say in this video. I know it was got rambly, then got rambly, then got work focused, then he got ranting in, but yeah, that's how making this concept makes me feel. That's how making this concept makes me feel. I'm really proud of it. It came out well. Even though I have a lot of issues with Blender, which is the main thing holding it together, it came out well. I don't know if I can redo this concept in Unity. I know you can. I don't know if you can have ray tracing in Unity. But if it, but I'll go to whatever platform has it. So probably Unreal Engine. But again, because of the coding issue, I'm really gonna need a team to build this game. So that will come probably when Green&Blue makes actual money, so I can actually pay people in real money instead of just credit. But yeah. But fortunately, I don't need a studio for this. We can do everything online. I just figure out how to do that exactly. But anyway. Oh yeah, did you notice that? And also, did you notice I actually have iconography with the radar or the sensors? It's technically called sensors. This is weapon aim, and then this is sensors, or this is gun sight, and this is sensors. I'm pretty sure this is gun sight anyway, and then this is sensors. And also notice that the exact same thing. This is a plus sign in it. And then this is, which I gotta admit, it looks really good, even though they're exactly the same. It looks really good, even though they're a repeat. And then like each HUD's gonna be different, and there's gonna be different factions you can fly as. But yeah, they'll look different. I mean, they're gonna have different shapes to put in these spots. But yeah, which I gotta say, I'm probably gonna need a team for this. But I might not. It all depends if I can learn coding. Learn coding in Unity, or at least functionally learn it. Because I don't want to use stuff pulled off the Asset Store. Because I'm not going to make an asset flip. I know how bad those are. But what do I want to look at? Oh yeah. What do I want to look at? Oh yeah, I mean, like, I can code, apparently. Apparently I can code because I made an entire code language. I made an entire, coding language with Arbitrium system. Which, it essentially is a coding language as far as I understand coding languages go. So I can code, I can make languages, it's just that I can't use other ones. But for some reason, I'm not quite sure why, but it's just how I am. But anyway, also, as you can see here, I may have started missing music. Actually, for once. Yeah, you're not gonna be there. That's what's hot because I was rendering. Because for 3090s are furnaces. Or furnace things. It's gonna be music. There we go. Enough of that. Yeah, it's based on what I wrote a year ago. Their story near future theme. His overall theme for all the near future stuff of Golden Era, Early Era, and Fall. And it's based on this. I think I need, if there are plugins for Buska Cole, I will use them. I don't think there are. But I can at least make something. And I'm understanding it. And maybe I just need to write something different, just something simple and usable so I can use it and something usable. Something simple and usable, maybe. But yeah, I can write music now. I've been able to write music, but now I can actually make music. Because I finally found a program I can actually plug away at. Which Busted Cole is actually made by which is actually made by a game developer. And they're the people behind the V times 5 and also another game, which I forget. But it's a more popular one. But anyway, they make a ton of games, or they're solo indie dev, and they made this free to anyone who doesn't want to pay for it. Yeah, it's awesome, and you can try it out, and it's going into the description. I just need to remind myself that, and also you need to get pen, boy. No, I want pen to taskbar. Yeah, pen to taskbar. Get into my pipeline at the very end. But yeah. Excuse me. Rumbly Billy. But anyway. Okay, I think that's it for now. So yeah, that'll be our first video. Thanks for watching. Appreciate watching on this video. Thanks for... And also, yes, I know it sucks. I'm working on it. That is not done. It's something, but I'm not quite sure if it's good or not. But it's some. I get that little early middle bit is actually really nice. So I just need to work on it more and just beat my head at it. And also probably just make something good. Like, make something good. Don't make something that I need actual for Skype instruments for. Just make something good with just anything, anything that's actually in the program. Just make something good with anything actually in the program, and then go from there. But yeah. Alright, but anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Appreciate watching on the stream. Something else, you need to check out our stuff in the description below. Such as various Facebook sports channel, which you go to space for sports fans by watching these videos, engage content you produce, and by sharing with friends who is you. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I guess, see you in a second.